Hi everybody, welcome back to another CYT-Crypto episode. My name is Stephen Aitchison and today we'll be going over the markets. We'll be looking at Bitcoin charts as well. We know Bitcoin is falling down just now, which is a good thing. Don't panic about it. It could be a good thing here. We need it to kind of pull back slightly. We don't want huge parabolic rises all the time because inevitably there is going to be a pullback and we're getting that just now. So we'll kind of look at that as well, why we shouldn't be panicking about that. We'll also be looking at some of the news stories of today, and we'll be looking at COTI as well, giving you an update on kind of COTI the last time and looking at COTI as well and where that could go. So we'll be looking at that. Okay, what I would say, if you like these videos, what to do is subscribe to this channel, kind of hit that notification bell, and also like this on your way out as well. So if you do like these videos, hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell as well. Really helping the channel just now. The channel's doing really well at the moment over the last 7 days, partly due to KuCoin kind of featuring one of the videos I'd done, which was really good. But if you could subscribe as well, that would be amazing. Okay, let's jump over and see what's happening in the markets just now. We've probably fallen by about $6 billion over the last hour or so. So we're at $281 billion at the moment. For the Bitcoin price, we're sitting at 9,815, and I'll show you why that could be a good thing as well. And winners and losers, we have Kick token is up 40%, and we have OKB is up 31%, Lisk, Aeon, Molecular Future, Quant, ZB token all up in double-digit greens as well. Losers here, we have 13% for Decentraland. I think that's got an amazing future. Decentraland, Synthetics Network is down 13%, Dogecoin down, and Swipe is down, and V Systems all down in double-digit reds. What have we got in the reds? Probably have quite a few actually, probably about 65% in the red and 35% in the green. We'll look at Satoshi value very quickly, see if anything kind of changes there. Nah, not really. A slight change there, but nothing too much. And just to let you know, I also have a premium group and a Telegram premium group where I give calls nearly every single day. And we're up on average, probably about 20% on every single call. When I kind of tot them up over the month, the average is about 20% roughly. And you can join that premium group down below. Here's one of the premium calls I made the other day. Okay, so this was one of the calls I made in the premium group for Binance Coin. And you can see I made this on Thursday, February 6th. You can see exactly, I've just screenshotted it. 81 people seen it, called it at 11:40 there as well. It's for BNB, and I called this at 206,000 Satoshi after it kind of broken a resistance area. Called it round about this level, that's 207,000, so it's just before that, and called it, and it since went up 26% to roughly 259,000 Satoshi. Looks as if it's still going to go up. So that is still in play at the moment. You can see the call is good until the 15th of February. I only give 10 days for a call, so I have to be more precise than most because it's not going to last, the call is not going to last a month or 2 months or 3 months. It's only going to be 10 days. And that's the time frame I've got to work within. So I've got to time them kind of almost perfectly to try and get them on the breakout and look for that kind of swing trade and get it, and it's gone up 26% at its peak, and it's still not finished yet. So join the premium group down below. There's a link down below to join the premium group if you wish. There's also a link to the free group if you wish to join that as well. Okay, let's jump over to the Bitcoin chart. See what's happening here just now. We can see a sharp decrease in price, a sharp drop in price just now, but to be expected. Usually what happens here, if we can zoom in here, just get rid of this. Can zoom in here, we can see the sharp drop, but since the crossover of the 7 EMA and the 50 EMA, we can see what's happened here is Bitcoin price has gone up and then come down to meet the 7 EMA, then bounce back up. It's done that pretty much all the way up, apart from this little skit here, when it kind of bounced off the previous resistance. And this was previous resistance for this symmetrical triangle we're speaking about. So that was previous resistance and now acting as support, so it bounced off that support. But then it started going back up again and was bouncing off the 7 EMA. Now, a couple of scenarios we're going to look at here. So it should bounce off the 7 EMA round about the 9,700 level and bounce back up. If it doesn't, and if it falls down below that, then what level are we looking at? We could effectively be going down to the 8,700 area. That's still going to be within support. It's still going to be bullish for us if it goes down to 8,700. I know that's $1,000 and I'm not expecting it to drop today. I'm just looking at a likely scenario here. So we've also got support here, and this is TA support round about these levels at 9,400. So first level, this is for you not to be concerned about. So if it hits 9,400, we're still good for Bitcoin. What I'm kind of hoping for and expecting is a pullback, which we've got just now from 10,200. We pull back $400 to round about this area here. If we drop another $100, it's still cool. I still think expect it to bounce off the 7 EMA and keep going up the way, or maybe go sideways from here. And that'll give the altcoins a chance as well to run. And I'm going to show you some patterns, which kind of leads me to believe the altcoins are going to run. Bitcoin dominance chart is down as well, so I'll take a look at that. So, scenario, probably bounce off the 9,700 area. If it breaks down below that, we're looking at 9,400. If it breaks down below that, we're looking at 8,700 as a bounce off the 50 EMA, round about that level. I don't think it's going to get that. And 9,000, if it breaks that, that's going to be kind of on a bearish side. So obviously we don't want that to happen either. So that's the kind of scenarios we've got for Bitcoin at the moment. Still bullish in my eyes. You have to look at the parabolic rise and the rise we've had already from here, from the crossover really. If we look at just the crossover alone, we've had a jump of 36%. But if we look at the kind of bigger picture and say where it's jumped from, we've had a rise of 50% since the 20th of December. That's a big rise. So we have to expect these pullbacks. We've had it in the past on the way up. We've seen it here, kind of when it went up to 8,268, came back down to 7,600. Then it went up to 9,200, came back down to 8,200. It's gone up to 10,200, could come down to 9,200, 9,000 level. So it's to be expected. So we can't see these parabolic rises all the time. Now, another thing we could look at as well is this ascending channel. And this kind of coincides with this 9,400 I was talking about as well. So that's another bullish scenario here. If it falls down to below here, if it falls out of this ascending channel, then it's looking like it's a bearish pattern kind of forming after that. But I don't expect that to happen. I think we've got momentum. I think we've got the news there. I think we've got the sentiment behind Bitcoin rise as well. So I don't think that's going to happen, but we've still got bullish indicators here. Okay, let's look at some news and look at the Bitcoin news. Bitcoin surged last time at top 10k. What's next for BTC? So this is the story. It's just from Bitcoinist. It's just saying BTC pushed to a new high in early hours Asian trading when it touched 10,200. According to TradingView.com, there's been a fourth sustained move higher this month, which reaching a higher price not seen since late September. So what Alex Saunders is saying as well is the last time it's touched 10,000, it's always jumped by a large percentage. So the last time was in June 2019. Bitcoin was already up 180%, but it jumped another $4,000 in 4 days, and I'll show you the chart in a second. And December 2017, Bitcoin was already up 980% year to date, but jumped another $7,000 in 7 days. So what it's talking about here, you can see the chart here. When it reached $10,000 the last time back in June, and that was already up from 180%, it went up another $4,000 in 4 days. And then back here, when we reached $10,000, it already went up 980% and then jumped another $7,000 before coming back down again to go back up. So it jumped another $7,000 in 7 days. So we're already up 40% from here. Where could we go from here? So I've said before that with the Bitcoin chart, we're kind of looking at a rise, and we'll go to the bars pattern here. And this, what this is showing, and this is extrapolating information from 2015 to 2017 rise, and it's kind of touched perfectly here. It's amazing how much is kind of coinciding with this. It's touched perfectly here at 10,200, coming back down, and then we could go up to 13,500 before staying round about that region, and before the halving event in the end of April and beginning of May time. And then after that, we're in for another kind of big rise up to 18,000, and then possibly next year up past to 26,000. But that's what's happening at the moment. That's how I see Bitcoin at the moment. Still other news stories as well with regards to Bitcoin. Anthony Pompliano believes Bitcoin price climb to 100,000 has started. So he's saying Bitcoin just hit 10,000. I still think that Bitcoin will hit 100,000 by the end of December 2021. Fixed supply, increasing demand, time will tell. And this has been significant news to the Bitcoin holders, as crypto analyst Willie Wu commented earlier today on Twitter. This breakout is the real deal. Fundamental investment activity is backing this 10k breakout. So obviously we've had a pullback, which is cool. We need that. We need that. If it's going kind of parabolic and keeps on going up, then I'd be worried, because the bigger the fall would happen. We're getting these pullbacks on the way up. So it'll be a pullback, jump up, pullback, jump up. And that's what I expect is going to happen with Bitcoin. And this is Bitcoin drops $300 in seconds under 10k as mild dip fills CME gap. So I wanted to show you this as well. So this is with regards to the CME gap. CME gap, obviously the CME closes at the weekend, and there's a gap between what happens on Friday and the Monday morning. We can see this big gap here. And from close 9,800 and it went up to 10,200. We can see that has now been filled already. For some reason, CME gap always gets filled, and it's been filled immediately on the Monday morning, which is today. So that's been filled as we speak just now. It's already been filled. So we don't need to worry about the CME gap as well. Okay, next story is talking about Ethereum. $360 for Ethereum to see further 60% rally after breaking key resistance. Ethereum has been one of the best performing major cryptocurrencies throughout 2020, with ETH posting a massive rally that is sent earlier from yearly lows of 120 to highs of just under $230. That is a key point here for Ethereum, $230. Nick Patel, a prominent cryptocurrency analyst on Twitter, spoke about this in a recent blog post, explaining that $230 is a previous support level for the crypto that has now become resistance, and we'll look at the chart in a second. Over the past couple of weeks, price has also closed strongly above the 200 MA and 360 MA, and is now prior support turned resistance 230. Could see Ethereum taking a breather here, if only to retest trendline support and a double top at 200 as new support. So we'll look at Ethereum chart here as well. In fact, we'll go into the other bigger chart, Ponyx. Now, I've said here this is a bigger kind of picture. We've got a symmetrical triangle going on here. And with regards to Ethereum, this is a USD value, but this is a kind of picture here if we're closing up. Again, we're bouncing off that 7 EMA. So we've got 214 as the 7 EMA. We've kind of gone up, bounced off the 7 EMA and kept on going up with that as well. Exactly the same as happening with Ethereum. And I don't expect it to really break out until around this level, 240. I said that last week. If it breaks out of that, then that's when we start going up towards that $360 level. Again, I would imagine it's going to come up here first, round about here. So it's almost like a cup and handle, then on the way up to there. So that's what I expect to happen. I expect it to go up once it breaks 240, well $250, once it breaks out the symmetrical triangle, and it goes up to around about 360, comes back down, and then goes up, and we're going to see the rise up to $1,000 again for Ethereum. I don't know when, I just see this happening quite well with this year sometime. That's what I'm going to say about Ethereum. Other news as well I want to look at. German banks requesting to custody Bitcoin, Ethereum and XRP. This is potentially huge for the Bitcoin price and obviously the cryptocurrency markets as a whole. So government officials in Germany confirmed that several banks have filed a request to launch a digital asset custody business. BaFin, the nation's financial regulator, says it's received over 40 applications from parties interested in offering cryptocurrency custody service, reports news outlet Handelsblatt. And Frank Schaffler tells Handelsblatt the market is growing faster than the Federal Ministry of Finance had predicted. That is both a blessing and a curse. The high demand for crypto custody licenses shows that companies are increasingly adopting blockchain technology, and this is also the result of the new legislation. So that's big news potentially for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency as a whole as well. Japanese official calls for urgent development of digital yen to counter China. I think this is going to happen with a lot of countries as well. They're really going to be keeping an eye on China, what China is doing, and Japan is one of them just now. So Kozo Yamamoto said today that countries should create a digital yen in 2 to 3 years. And he said the sooner the better. We'll draft proposals to be included in government policy guidelines and hopefully make it happen in 2 to 3 years. If each country manages to control flows of money with their own digital currencies, that could prevent a big swing at a time of crisis and stabilise their own economy. And I think we should be looking at that. As a country, as a nation, we should all be looking at this, different countries. And meanwhile, the Central Bank of China recently completed the top layer design and joint testing of the digital yuan as well. So we have to kind of look at this. It's going to come. It's going to come. We're all going to get sovereign currencies, digital currencies, and it's coming sooner than you would think. This was COTI's news. So if we look at COTI, I'm just going to go to COTI just now. So I'm looking at COTI. This is on Coinigy. And I kind of put a chart out on Twitter the other day to say, okay, this level is support, round about the 113 is the support. This is on the daily chart. So again, we've got a descending triangle here. Now, normally descending triangles are a continuation of the pattern downwards, but if it breaks out that descending triangle, that can be extremely bullish. We're getting the case with COTI just now. We're up to 146 Satoshi just now. Spoke about it the other day on Twitter as well, saying if it breaks out of this pattern, it could go up big time. So this is the accumulation zone here. You can see this purple zone here. This is the accumulation zone since October 2019. And if it breaks out around about 156, we could be in for a big, big rise for COTI. And if we kind of map that here, what could the rise be? I'm just going to go down here, go up there, and we'll put it up to here. So we could be going up to 200 level for COTI, and that's the previous high here, around about the 200, 210 level for COTI. But obviously do your own research for this, and the reason this is happening is COTI have kind of advised that they're going to be putting 400 million tokens, which are currently held by COTI as part of the ecosystem allocation, is going to be locked for 12 years. With a 3-year cliff before any of these tokens can be accessed, and with much slowed release schedule at this 3-year mark. These tokens will be converted to ERC20 COTI tokens and locked behind a trustless, timed smart contract. So this was on February the 7th, and have come out with COTI's token matrix revision and a network growth kind of pattern as well. Currently they've got about 225 million tokens in circulation. They've got 2 billion total supply, 400 effectively taken out of that, and so it's like 1.6 billion. It's still a total supply of 2 billion, but we've got 400 million locked for 12 years. So they've revised the token metrics. They've kind of listened to the community, and they're doing more and more COTI. They're looking. Their most recent news, COTI is launching MultiDAG, a protocol to issue tokens on a DAG infrastructure as well. So this could be really big as well, and more people talking about COTI on Twitter. The sentiment is really high with regards to COTI. Okay, I want to look at something else. Okay, I want to show you some pattern that I've noticed that could signal that we're in for a really, really big rise for the altcoin market. Okay, so I'm going to go up to here. If we look at the altcoin market, I've mapped some of these out already. This is on the daily chart. You'll notice what's happening. In fact, we'll go to some of the coins that are breaking out, or the projects that are breaking out just now. What has broken out? Lisk. Lisk has broken out, and you can see here that was on a descending triangle. Now, as I said before, the descending triangle usually spells that there's going to be a continuation of that pattern. However, when you've got a strong support there, and you've got this descending triangle with the upper resistance line, which is this green line here, and it breaks out of that, you can expect a big rise here. So I'm going to look at this. This is one I said a couple of weeks ago about Lisk as well. Said if this breaks out from here, we could see a rise up to 15,400. We've way surpassed that. Went up to 28,000 for Lisk. But that's not the point. It was about these descending triangles. When I see a descending triangle, I see some bullish patterns happening, unless it kind of follows or continues with that trend. But look at this. So we've got Lisk broken out that descending triangle, huge rise. We've got Neblio here as well, broken out that descending triangle, and we've got a rise here so far of around about 80%. Waves just trying to break out that descending triangle here just now. We can see here this goes back to the 24th of May 2019, and we've got strong support here around about the 7,293 level, and we're just trying to break out here. If it breaks out here and stays out here on the daily, we could be in for a much bigger rise for waves, and possibly talking about, so say it was to break out from here, we're talking about a rise to 50,000 from here. So we're talking about a 200-300% rise if it can break out from here. Now, I'm not going to say that's going to happen in one day, but it's just these patterns of this descending triangles. WRX, we can't really say. WRX, I think, is going to go up as well, but that's just came on to the market just now. We've got MFT. I don't expect that to break out from here. And look at these. So just kind of quickly put the descending triangle there, the upper resistance line. So COCOS has not broken out yet, HOT has not broken out yet, Encash has not broken out yet, MFT, Storm has not broken out, Anchor not quite broken out, ERD trying to break out, not quite done it yet, Key as well, SC has broken out. You can see there it broke out to an upside of about 30%. PO has broken out to an upside of 45%. TNB just starting to break out just now. So when it did break out yesterday or a couple of days ago, broke out by 30%. So that was just a few, but most of the charts are showing this. So look for that descending triangle, and it's kind of easy to spot because you'll see lower highs. That's when you know to put where to put the resistance line. So we've got high here, 23rd of November, and then we've got lower high here. We could probably put that there, and probably put that round about there and bring it forward. So we've got at least 2 touch points here, and this is on the wick. We're not looking at the closing prices, we're looking at the wick prices. So this for self-key, this would be the upper resistance line. So if we can break, if self-key breaks 25, then you're probably in for a big rise, and the way to measure it is going from the high to the support and kind of extrapolating that and putting it on to here, and we have the price of 51. Possibly a breakout to 51 if it breaks out self-key at 25, but it comes down all the time. So look out for these descending triangles. If you're in the premium group, you'll be able to see them quite easily. I'll show you them in the premium group as well, and I'll give you the calls that you don't need to look for these if you're in the premium group, but it's good to know what to look for as well. Okay, that is it just now. We'll just go back to the Bitcoin chart just now, see what's happening, if anything's changed. 9,827, so it's holding that 7 EMA just now. So we'll see what happens over the course of the day. But either way, I think alts are going to start coming back up. As Bitcoin comes down slowly, alts will go up. If it comes down quickly, alts will go down as well. If it goes sideways, alts will go up as well. So good times for Bitcoin and for the alts as well at the moment. But just keep an eye on Bitcoin every time you trade as well. Okay, until next time, namaste. Take care. Bye now.